Hi, welcome. Happy unboxing day. I am your Culture Club Spirit Guide. My name's Adri. We're doing this together. Here's what you're getting for your autumnal equinox. We want you to have things that feel warming and cozy and to start to create those hygge vibes we know you're gonna wanna carry into the coldest months. And we wanted to do it without the things that everybody's talking about on the internet. So you're not going to see any lattes with classic spices, but we're giving you spice and it's gonna be real nice. And let's dive in and start with my favorite part, the cheese. This is Pleasant Ridge Reserve. It comes from Uplands Creamery in Wisconsin. It has won Best Cheese from the American Cheese Society 3 times in just the 2000s. This is all of the most delicious parts of what we mean when we talk about Alpine style cheeses. The cows are only grazed during the summer months for this cheese on very, very fresh pasture. So you're getting a really, really dense, but very mild base. And as this cheese ages over the next few months, it feels complex, it feels warming, it feels inviting, but it feels like the kind of cheese we would expect you to start eating as the temperatures cool. So we have some things to pair with this in the rest of your box, but if you're going to be doing any sort of really rich cheese sauce, this should be the base of that. Trim this rind, grate it down, give it a melt. Boy, is it going to make your life tastier, but this is something I want on its own. So for me, I'm saving this for our cheese plate. Okay, so your next cheese is called Testun al Barolo. It comes from a cheesemaker named Beppino Ocelli in Piedmont. Testun al Barolo is an ubriaco style cheese. Ubriaco just means drunk in Italian. During World War I, people primarily in the Veneto started hiding their cheese in their spent grape must from making red wines. It was an easy way to avoid taxes. You don't have to avoid your taxes, you can just eat this cheese, but the beauty of it is the mixture of the cow and sheep's milk. Pair it with really, really cold white wine or a Barolo if you want to go from like start to finish on grape must to the actual wine. But either way, you have something really lovely with a fun little story to go along with the rest of your treats. Now let's talk about the things that belong on here with it. This is Prosciutto Toscano. We know all types of prosciutti and we love them all here at Caputo's, but this is the one that is intended for this time of year. Prosciutto Toscano is just like every other prosciutti in that it is from the hind leg. It has been deboned and re-rolled so that we can perfectly and thinly slice it for you, but during that salt curing process, there is the addition of Tellicherry peppercorns and some wild juniper berries to add a bit of herbaceous depth. We told you we'd give you spices, and here are some in here. So while this looks like it's going to be your very sweet, very delicate, classic tasting prosciutto, this one holds within it a lot of extra herbaceousness that you wouldn't expect by looking at it, but the moment it hits your palate, it's going to feel like that warm hug from your aunt that's visiting for the weekend. Because this is so perfectly and delicately sliced in such a thin manner, it is going to oxidize, and that is going to hurt your feelings if you hold on to this for too long. So keep an eye on the color of this. We want it to stay really nice and bright and pink. As it starts to brown, oxygen is taking hold and is going to make it less delicious and happy for you. So first things first, Prosciutto Toscano. Capiche? Very good. Okay, let's also have some Panforte. Panforte is something we've historically only been able to source around the holidays. And while it feels really special to have it around Christmas time, this is something that is eaten year-round in Siena. It is a really, really fun historical piece of the Tuscan diet. The name translates to strong bread. It is primarily candied dry citrus and nuts. Here, mostly almonds. And it is bound together by a host of those warming spices again, and some honey. It is clean, it is warming, but its name means that it is meant to fortify you. Tuscan soldiers would bring this along with them to the front lines of battle, and it was what would fortify them before war. So while their counterparts were subsisting primarily on grasses or whatever they could forage from the land, the Tuscans had Panforte, and that is why they were so successful in so many of their endeavors at war. For you, you don't have to take it to work. You can take it on your cute autumn hikes to watch the leaves fall and change color. You can take it to your friend's dinner party and wow them, because it is the perfect addition to a cheese board. Panforte and the Pleasant Ridge Reserve are magical together, but topping the sweetness of the Testun with the sweetness of the Panforte also feels really, really rich and decadent in a way that we want to invite you to share with people that you love a lot. It creates those moments that feel really special and really nice, and I hope that you're able to recreate that with the people that you love the very most. This one can stay pretty good in the fridge for a while. I would refrigerate it after you open it, but do be mindful of the crystallization that can happen with the honey. But that's not a challenge. Don't hold on to it forever. Just hold on to it till you have somebody to eat it with. Cool? Okay, let's have, I think, the most exciting part of your Culture Club kit. This is from Conservas de Cambados. It is a Conservas brand from Galicia in Spain. This retails for over $50. So it basically could be the only thing we send in your kit, but we love you so much for being part of our club that we wanted to give you a really, really special treat, and this is it. So if you love this, you have Matt and Elena Caputo to thank. You can send them a card or just type in the comments here. But these are Cockles. They are some of the largest you will see. If you look at these types of cans, there's always a number like this, 20 to 25. That is the gauge. That's how many little cockles you can expect to see in this tin. These are some of the cleanest ones we've got. They're preserved in brine, so you're getting a really, really saline, briny flavor, and hot damn, she's beautiful. This is exactly the kind of Conservas culture we want to lean into. So without spilling it, I want you to really, really enjoy that brine, but this is something you could enjoy just by itself. It is the kind of simple food that I think is the most important to what we do. When you have the very best and highest quality ingredients, our job is to not mess it up. And this is exactly that. It is the kind of pure essence of the bivalve in a really, really wonderfully done, delicious Conservas style setting. So if I were you, I would have that by itself, maybe with a glass of like Basque cider and some crusty bread to soak up all of that brine. But the key here is not to futz with it. Just keep it simple, keep it clean, keep it fresh, but please enjoy. I cannot wait to hear what you all think of these in particular, but it's because we love you. Thanks again to the Caputos. This feels like a huge gift in and of itself, so please enjoy that. Let's keep going with the sweeter things, the finer things in life. I'd like to start with your pumpkin jam from José Gourmet. This is your classic Portuguese grandmother's jam. These are cooked down in giant copper pots, and you get this beautiful, very rich jam that is speckled with cute little bits of nut to add a little bit of texture. There is no pumpkin spice in this pumpkin jam, and that's why I love it. When we talk about pumpkin spice, sometimes there's no pumpkin in it, and that hurts my feelings. So instead of pumpkin spice, you get pumpkin, and you're welcome. This feels like the warmest part of those winter months, and the reason we sent it to you is because it belongs on your cheese board or on your favorite piece of artisan toast. But please give this a try with these cheeses. Please enjoy them, but do it during the season when everything else feels overly spiced, overly sweetened. This is pure pumpkin essence in the best way possible, and we'd like to get back to those basics, and I think this is a really, really special way of doing that. Now, for dessert, 2 chocolate things. One solid and one liquid. Let's start liquid. These are French Broad's little teeny tiny sipping chocolate chips. Or if you're me, they just belong in your desk and you eat them by themselves when you're feeling sad, because they make me feel glad. These are brown butter milk chocolate chips spiced with Spice Wallah's chai blend. That smells like the first time it snows in fall when it's too early and you're kind of sad about it, and this is going to make you feel better about it. So whisk about a 1/4 cup of these with your milk or alt milk of choice on really, really low heat, and keep whisking until you have a really ethereal, very thick mixture that you can sip on your first very cold walk with your puppy as the leaves fall. If you don't want to make it into a sipping chocolate, you can just eat these like me, or you can use them for baking. They're gonna be a fantastic addition to your pumpkin bread, your zucchini bread, your olive oil cakes, your cornbreads or polenta cakes. This is a huge win for all of those. And now, last but not least, some Modica style chocolate. Sabadi is the only brand we are super confident about the cacao sourcing behind Modican style chocolate. We've been trying to add Modican chocolate to our portfolio for years, but we never trusted where the cacao is coming from until we met Sabadi. So Sabadi is based in Modica on the island of Sicily. And the key to Modican style chocolate is the cold processing. If you're unfamiliar with that, I think the first place to start would be with something like a Mexican style drinking chocolate disc to talk about the texture. They are not related, they are not the same, but it gives you an idea of what you're going to be biting into. Modican style chocolate uses what's called a cold process. So the cacao beans are completely ground down, so you still get that really ethereal chocolate texture once melted. However, the sugar is added after that, so you're getting a more crystallized, more sweet forward flavor. So beyond the process of cold processing that Sabadi does, you're also getting some really special and equally as important inclusion ingredients. We know that all of this cacao is coming from really, really special and well taken care of sources, but within this Darino bar that you're also getting Ciaculli Mandarin. We talk about the Slow Food Organization's Arc of Taste quite often in our classes, and if you're not familiar with that, it is a catalog of foods that are going extinct. When something makes it onto that list, they expect that it could disappear forever within our lifetime or the next. The Mandarin in this is on that Slow Food Arc of Taste catalog. And the best way to save things and to get them taken off the catalog is to eat more of them. And if you've not had homework as delicious as that before, you get to have it now. So here within and suspended in this Modican style chocolate, you're going to see some really, really fun kind of bits of whole pieces of sugar, but on your first bite, and as you start to break it down on your palate, the sugar will melt into the chocolate. And as you swallow, and on the back end of this, you get this really, really wonderful citrus zest. And here in particular with the Mandarin, it feels like the same kind of flavor that you would expect citrus to give in something like a mulled wine or a mulled cider. It's a warming type of citrus, and it makes us feel like we're doing good while enjoying some of our favorite things. So maybe don't share this one. Maybe have this one just for you and buy a bar for people that you love, but they can have their own. Now, here is everything I'm having this fall season. I hope you'll join me. I hope you'll enjoy them. And if you love something or you do something really cool, please tell us. That nosy broad in me wants to know exactly what you made. So we love you a lot. Thank you for being part of our culture club. Dive in, and we'll see you next time.